in this video the Auxbeam 8-gang switch panel. Stay tuned, everybody. Hello everybody, if you're new to this channel, my name is Juan Carlos. If you've been here, welcome back. The Gladiator did not come with the 4 auxiliary switches. It's an option. Therefore, I got this Auxbeam 8 switch panel that I'm going to install. So let's get to it. Let's open up the Auxbeam 8-gang switch. Here's the box, Auxbeam. See how it looks. We have our sticker, manual. Let's try that again. Nice little kid. Some hardware, wire for the fuse. So we're going to plug everything into. Bracket, cable, zip ties, and the actual unit. Surprised to see how thin it is. Part of the bracket system. That's everything out of the box. I feel something heavy though. There's more. Hold on, there's more. You need the switch. Power switch. Here you go. Here's the fuse. Extra fuses. The main bracket. Okay. I think I got everything out now. I have everything laid out for you. Here's the manual. These are all the little logos for the switches. Straps. Cable. This is where you're going to hook up everything. Got your brackets. Got the main power cord. Extra fuse. The little cable to the fuse box when the ignition turns on. Hardware. Sticker. And the actual switch. I want to go over the stickers for the switches. You have 2 light bar stickers. Light cubed, 2, roof sticker, rear sticker, backup, cargo, fog light, flood, hood, side, front, bumper, rack, grill, amber, some kind of light for backup, beep, windshield light, whip, internal light 1, underglow, rock, fan, roof light, LED, fan, rear, front, driver, heating, passenger heating, strobe, siren, sway bar, horn, fridge, auxiliary, air, auxiliary battery, camera, fish box, stereo, DRL, locker enable, power, radio, fuel, welder, GPS, start stop, arrow up, arrow down, arrow left, arrow right, and then you have some blanks. For the switch, there's 2 brackets. there's a flat bracket and one that swivels. I used the one that swivels. Using the hardware, I screwed on the 4 screws using a number P2 Phillips screwdriver. Now I'm attaching the bracket that actually goes on the vehicle using these 2 screws. They are hex 532s. The kit does come with its own hex tool. Before I go any further, let me tell you what my plan is. The plan is to have the circuit breaker control box attached over here to the bolt sticking out right over the battery, little over the battery. Then I'm going to run the cable that goes to the actual control box. I'm going to run it behind. There's a channel, I don't know if you can see that. There's a channel that goes all the way to the driver's side. It's gonna come through here. We're gonna take this off. We're gonna run it on the inside of the windshield. And my plan is to bring it over and attach it right up here. The control box will be attached right up here. I think it will be the easiest and more efficient for the control box. This is the circuit control box. Has little flops on each side. Now you're gonna have 2 30 amp. Got one here, one over here. 20 amp, 10 amp, and 5 amp. And positive, negative, positive, negative, positive, negative, so on. And they cover right up. As you can see, I already mounted my box to the bracket. I used the provided hardware, and I'm going to show you where to mount it right onto the Gladiator. So as you can see, the engine bay is pretty tight. The only place that we can put it is on the passenger side, right next to the battery. You have these bolts here. This one's empty, so I'm going to mount it right here. I got my circuit box attached to the bracket, and that's going to mount right there on that bolt. Now here's the thing, you just cannot mount it on it like that because this terminal is in the way. When you go attach it, it doesn't fit, so we need to put a spacer to bring the bracket out a little bit to clear this terminal here. That's what we're going to do. I've taken out the OEM nut, and I went to my fastener box and just got a random nut which I'm going to insert, and that's going to serve as a spacer. I'm going to put my OEM nut back on, and that will give me enough room to clear this terminal here so the bracket can sit right in between the 2 nuts, like so. Go ahead and fasten that nut using a 10mm socket. This kit is not exclusive to the Jeep Gladiator. It's for all vehicles. I had to order an extra cable that goes from the circuit box to the actual switch to where I want to locate it. So keep that in mind. If you're going to use this kit, you may need to order an extra extension cable for the switch box. I'm going to attach my cable to the circuit box here. This is a male end. I'm going to attach it to a female end here. It's got a little groove right there, which I'm going to line up. Fits perfectly. That's to keep the weather out, keep it sealed. I'm just going to run my wire, like I said, behind this here. I've got my wire going down to the driver's side, and it looks like there's a bracket right here which I can zip tie this to. Now zip tie it at the other end once I'm done with everything. For now I'm going to leave it loose. We are on the driver's side now. As you can see, I have my cable here. I'm going to remove this cover here, removing these 4 bolts using a 40 Trex. I'm now inside of the Jeep. I'm going to remove 4 bolts. 1, 2, 3, and on the other corner is the 4th one to be able to get the windshield go forwards. I'm going to go ahead and do that now. You can use the same T40. I'm now going to move the windshield forwards a little bit. Now I cannot move it forwards all the way because I'm not able to take out the windshield wipers, because this is factory. You cannot just pop them out. I need a special tool for that, in which I do not have at this point. So that will be for a short future video. But for now, I'm just going to move the windshield a little forwards. I'm going to use a towel to keep it up there. I'm just moving the windshield forwards a little bit. And I'm going to put a towel to keep it separated from the frame of the Jeep. I'm on top of the Jeep, and as you can see, we have a gap that we can work with to bring the wire and attach the switch on the inside. The towel's holding the windshield, giving us the gap. I have my bracket, and I want to mount it right there. That's where I want to mount it. So I'm going to mark it with a marker and make my 2 holes. I'm going to drill 2 holes. I've made my marks. Now I'm ready to drill. Okay, steady hand. You are. Easy peasy. I want to show you how I'm going to hold the bracket onto the Gladiator. So I went to my fastener toolbox and I got a little screw, washer, second washer, a lock washer, and a nut. Let me show you how I'm going to do this. And that's how I'm going to fasten onto the Gladiator. I can screw on the screw because the hole that I did is just right. I screwed on the bracket onto the panel of the Jeep, and I got my switch box attached to that. I'm gonna be honest, I don't like the way those screws look. I'm gonna change those and get a little something longer actually. But for now, I'm gonna use these. I'm tying down the switch onto the bracket. Let me show you what I had to do to be able to work fastening the screws onto the bracket. I inserted one of the original OEM bolts onto the windshield. I put a large washer attached to a zip strip, attached to a rope. That way I can lean the windshield forwards and I'll have plenty of room to work with here. Now, I don't really recommend this. The proper way is getting the windshield wipers off and leaning the windshield all the way forwards. But again, I need a special tool to remove the windshield wipers. That's why I'm doing what I'm doing. Anyhow, I'm now going to attach, this is my extension cable that I had to get extra. I'm gonna attach it to the switch here, and it looks like this is male onto female. Look for my little groove and insert it. So, fully in. And I'm just gonna run this on the outside of the windshield channel. So what I've done, I'm gonna run my cable inside this panel. Fits perfectly. It'll be on the inside of the Gladiator. I was able to zip tie it. There's a little bracket right there. I zip tied it. I know the cable is not going to run down in any way, type of form. I've laid back the windshield. As you can see, there's the wire on the inside. Comes out through here. It's got plenty of room in there. And this is where I'm going to connect it. This is the extension. This is the cable that the kid brought. And I think there's room right here, as you can see. I'm gonna just attach it here. Maybe just zip tie it right here and put the cover back on. And go ahead and connect. This is the extension, a little groove. I'm just gonna fold. I have zip tied the wire onto the bracket on the other side as well. Zip tied, and I zip tied it to this terminal here. That way the wire's not going to move or go anywhere. It's secured. I'm getting ready to tap into my fuse. Now what you don't want any power onto that fuse when the vehicle is off. You only want it to have power when the vehicle is on. And I've looked at the fuse box here, I've looked at the fuse cover here and the manual, and I've come up with fuse number 53 that gives the power to the wireless speaker. When the vehicle is off, there's no power. When the vehicle is on, there's power. So that's what I'm going to go ahead and tap into. Let me show you where that's located. I'm not sure if I can catch this on film, but there it is. Number 53 wireless speaker. That's over here. F53. F53, I'm not sure that's able to catch it right there. And that is this one, this fuse right there. The red 10 amp. So that 10 voltage, that's what I'm gonna tap into. I use this current gauge to determine when and when it didn't have power, the fuse. Your Jeep comes with this fuse clippers that sits right here. I had already pulled it because I've been playing with the fuses, trying to figure out which one to get. We've decided to get this guy right here. The wireless speaker goes right out. I'm gonna get my tab. I'm gonna insert it in the bottom. I have two bays. Always the top one is the less current, the less amperage. I was getting ready to tap into the fuse box. Here's another thing that I learned. This is what the kit brings. It's got a standard size fuse. The Gladiator, all the fuses are mini. So I had to get this kit from Amazon with all these different size adapters, and it had the mini. So now we are ready to tap into the fuse box of the Gladiator. And it also brought 5 amp fuses, all sizes, and it had the 5 amp, that we want to insert into an adapter. The lower voltage always on top. What we want to do now is clamp to the end of the actual switch box. Just going to undo this here. Plenty of cable, just good. I don't know if these buttons here are heat sensitive, but I sure as I am going to give it a try here. See if they start to shrink. Okay, it looks like they're not. Okay, so I got these two attached. I'm gonna get my fuse tool and pull out number 53. This controls my wireless speaker. I'm going to insert that fuse in the bottom here, like so. Then I'm going to connect the adapter in the slot. I've plugged my adapter into the fuse panel here, and I ran the wire through behind and through the front right into the switch box. So the next step is to connect the main power. I have a main power switch here. I attached it to the bracket of the switch. There's a hole right above, so I just attached it. You can see the bolt right there. What I'm going to do, I'm going to attach this end to the positive, get my negative cable and attach it over here. I'm not going to attach my negative cable onto the main switch. This is a 14mm bolt. I fit the cable underneath the bracket here. Get that out of the box, out of the way of the box. Let's put a 2 fuse back. Put a cover on. Using a 10mm socket, I'm going to attach my neutral here. Now I'm going to attach the positive cable to the switch box. Now that I have everything connected, I'm going to attach my main power cable into the battery on the positive side. This is how the finished installation looks. Here is the finished product. The switched mounted inside the Gladiator. Let's go ahead and turn on the vehicle. As you can see, lights up. You can turn on whatever you want. Then you have this master switch here. So I will turn everything off, and whatever you had We'll turn it back on. Let's say you want to run your fog lights and your spotlights at the same time, or you could do that with this button. I haven't labeled anything yet. Stay tuned to my next Gladiator modification video, where I'm going to be installing a pair of KC spotlights. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. If you like this video, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification button for future videos. Till next time, everybody.